Okay, after doing a little equation solving, I got 2x equals 14, and then x equals 7. And I double checked that, and it came out right. I only care that they are equivalent. I do not care. You could simplify the root 45 because 9 goes into it. But I'm just double checking there to make sure the solution actually works. Once I see that both sides are the same, I quit. All right, let's go on to this friend here. So I'm going to start by doing the same thing. I have a radical on one of the sides. Let's square both sides. So I get n squared is equal to n plus 12. This is a quadratic equation. I have an n squared in it, so I have to make it equal 0. So I'm going to say n squared. If I move the n over, it becomes negative n. When I move the 12 over, it becomes negative 12. Okay, I'm really not moving it over to get rid of n. I have to subtract n, that's why it's negative. And to get rid of 12, I have to subtract 12, that's why it's negative. Okay, from here we have a couple options. There's always our friend, the quadratic formula, that will work. But in this case, we can factor it. Factoring is a little bit easier. So there's a 1 there. Numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add to negative 1, that'll be n minus 4 and n plus 3. So my solutions are 4 and negative 3. Now here's where it becomes really important that you check for extraneous solutions. They won't always work. So let's try n equals 4 first. So I have 4 is equal to square root 4 plus 12. And 4 plus 12 is 16. And I know that's true, so that's good. Next, let's try n equals negative 3. So we're plug in negative 3 is equal to the square root of negative 3 plus 12. That'll be negative 3 is equal to square root 9. And that's not true, because the square root 9 is going to be a positive 3, and that's a negative 3. So n equals 4 is my only solution. This was extraneous. Okay? So especially when you get a couple solutions like this, when you solve by factoring or quadratic formula, especially if they're different signs, one of them is probably not going to work in the original equation. Okay, I have another one like this that we're going to do together. Okay, maybe I'll pause this and let you work ahead of me a little bit. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to start by squaring both sides. And when I do that, negative y times negative y is y squared. Because negative times negative is positive. I didn't need to get rid of that. And that square root will go away. Okay, let's move everything over again. Y squared minus y minus 6. The y becomes negative, the 6 becomes negative as I bring those over. And numbers that add the negative 1 and multiply to negative 6, that's y minus 3 and y plus 2. So I have solutions of 3 and negative 2. Okay, let's check these out in the original equation. So put in 3, that's negative 3 is equal to the square root of 3 plus 6. Well, the square root of 3 plus 6 is 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, and the square root of that is just 3. So that is a big no, that doesn't work. And this is, if it doesn't work, this is how it should come out. If you get 5 equals negative 4, if the numbers are totally different, you probably did something wrong. But if it comes out to negative 3 equals 3, you did everything right. The solution just doesn't work. Let's try negative 2. Okay, so negative 2 is equal to square root negative 2 plus 6. That's positive 2. That's 4. And that's true. So my solution here is just that y equals negative 2. The 3 is an extraneous solution. Okay, one try with this. Go ahead and try that out. I'll catch up with you in a minute.